Yo, what's good, YouTube? What's good? Stormybman, and I am back. Welcome to Who Will Benefit from the Time Off? Fighters, fans, boxing, or all of the above? What do you think? Welcome, family. Good afternoon to you. I hope everybody's doing well, getting ready for this holiday weekend. And we're just going to talk a little bit. I mean, interact, put your thoughts out there, put it in the chat. We're just going to talk about all of this. Since boxing has been on a break, and it's been quite a break, what are we going to get out of this when the sport resumes? So that's what, the conversation is for this afternoon. And I welcome all comments, And this is not something where it's going to be a controlled conversation, but keep it on the subject, because who's going to benefit from this? At the end of the day, the fans should, but I got an awful feeling, strong feeling, that the sport is not going to be at its best. It's going to take the demand from the fans to make this that way. And you guys got to hold fast to it. What you want to see, the quality bouts, stop protecting the guys, make them get in there and prove themselves when the sport returns. So that's what the conversation is this afternoon. And I welcome everybody that's out there. We got a few people coming in. Let's see, we got CB Sports TV. CB, I missed you last night, man, on the chop session. I thought you were going to come through. John Lejeune is out there. He says, what up, Stormy? What up with you? Trick Noty is out there. Shout out to Trick Noty, man, who has been doing a wonderful job of connecting our past fighters, legends from the sport to some of the current social media platforms and some of our brothers and sisters out here in the community, connecting them where these fighters who we once enjoyed their wares in the ring, Trick Noty has been able to reconnect us with some of these prominent figures. And shout out to this brother for doing that and helping us grow and helping these fighters out, because they still have voices, they want to be heard, and they want to be a part of what's going on. So salute to Trick Noty for that. Phil J508 says, salute Stormy B-Man in the chat. Salute to you. Philip Carl Roberts is out there. He says, hi, Stormy B-Man and chat. What's that hi stuff, man? Say what up, bro. You said hi when you was little or shorty, But don't come in here like them with them soft shoes on, man. You're going to get your foot broke. Okay? Let's see. Mark Blake is out there. He says, peace, family. Lala D is out there. Stormy, just in for a minute. Thank you for stopping just for that precious minute. Lala D, appreciate you, sister. CB says, my apologies. I thought it was going to be on Friday. Yeah, it was Friday night, last Friday night. And I was looking for you, and you left me hanging, man. You left me hanging. Lala D says, CB Sports TV, yo. Philip Carl Roberts says, it's going to hurt boxing, especially grassroots. Up-and-coming boxers depend on crowds attending. Crowds will be there. They will be available eventually. But we're talking about getting these guys back to a point of facing off and meeting challenges in the ring. Okay? And let's see. CB is saluting Lala D. Lala D is saluting everybody else. Philip J508 is laughing. And John Lejeune is saluting Lala D. Macadam 1 is in the house. He says, salute OG. Salute to you. Philip Carl Roberts is laughing. Trick Noty is at Lala D indeed. And Lala D says, oh my God, Macadam 1, where you been? And Trick Noty says, hello everyone. And CB Sports TV says, damn, my bad. Yeah, man, we out here though. And I'm glad to see everybody here. I hope everybody's healthy and doing well. I hope your families are doing well. And if anyone out there who has had some difficulties within their family or loved ones during this trying time, my prayers and my support and love goes out to you and your family, because this is definitely a tough time for all of us. And we all need to be able to grab a hold of one another and pull each other into our bosoms of love and compassion, because without compassion, we won't be able to make it through. We do have to have compassion. There are many people who are less fortunate, people who have been on a tragic end of matters, and it's a tough and trying time for all. So just let you guys know that Stormybman, because I don't talk and dwell on the particular subject matter, my thoughts are always out there, and my heart is with everybody that's going through. Just want to say that. And Macadam One says that Lala D, I've been in the background. And BBG is out there. He says, salute Stormy B and the chat. Mark Blake is out there saluting Lala D. Yeah, as long as we got one of the sisters in the chat, you brothers are just like wild dogs in the pack. Y'all go sniffing up right behind where they at. Sniffing up behind the ladies, man. That's a trip. It don't matter where you at. It's the same. Angie Wise is out there. She says, word with the compassion and grace. Yes, my sister, salute to you as well. Thank you for stopping by. Absolutely. Compassion. You can't make it without. With hardened hearts lead to hard times. I'm telling you. So you have to have something for someone else outside of yourself in order for that to be reciprocated and you be on the receiving end of grace. Always remember that. Stormy B, man. Tell it like it is. Yeah, so we're going to talk about who will benefit from this time off. The promoters are on the ropes, you guys. I don't know if you know this or not, but they are, because they are going to be hard pressed to put events on, to put butts in the seats, because they've always been thinking of themselves first. Okay? But things are going to change. The world has ever changed as a result of this. You see how many businesses and everything have closed down? Huh? Just think about it. People like Bob Arum and Ed Hearn and, everybody that's involved in the sport of boxing from a promotional standpoint, they're going to have an ear to the ground of what the fans want to pay to see, man. Before, they just kind of been feeding and shoveling things to us. But now, your dollar, just like when we do streaming, you know what I mean? You can stream what you want to see. You don't have to buy into something that they're selling that you don't want. I don't want that on my plate. If I want all fats and sweets on my plate, that's what I want. Don't bring those veggies over here. That's some people. Some people might say, hey, I'm a vegan. Bring me the raw and stuff on the outside of things. That's fine too. But remember, it's the fans that's going to pay the dollars. So the promoters are going to have to find a way to bring you home, to bring you back into the fold. And never forget that. And also, since they're so involved in social media now, these fighters have to be held accountable in the same exact way. Think about it in that respect. The fighters have to be accountable. You don't have to just accept them fighting fighters that are, on paper, they're supposed to win. They go through these matches with guys that can't hold their jockstrap, basically, but a series of fights, series of knockouts, looking good and everything. But you got another guy that's doing the same exact thing, that's in your weight class, and people actually want to see you get down with them. But you stand away. Oh, that guy, who has he fought? Blah, blah, blah. Well, who have you fought? Let's see y'all get in there together. And then whoever's the victor in that, we want to see him against somebody else that's good or decent. That's the type of demand and pressure you put on these guys. Since they want to be out there on social media, Instagram, Facebook, everything, Twitter, out there sending out that information, send out some contracts for some challenges, Let's see you challenge yourself. Bring it. That's what we want to see from these guys. You know what I mean? So who else we got here? BBG is out there, says salute Stormy B in the chat. Mark Blake is at Lala D. And I read those already. Phil J 508 says facts. And Angie Y says laugh out loud, word. Lala D says Stormy, any pay-per-view fight that has no business being pay-per-view, we got to make sure they flop in sales. We're getting played, and I'm ready to say F everybody. Yeah, Lala D, the biggest way to say F everybody is not to spend that dollar. Huh? Your dollars are valuable to you, especially in this time. Especially for those of us who are essential workers and everything and get out there and we take it to the max to help society stay afloat. Okay? Don't be coming around there giving us them what they call them, ramen noodles, huh? When we want some damn pasta, huh? Spaghetti, huh? So don't be trying to give us that crap. And you don't have to spend your money on it. Turn away, turn away. I agree. So, again, and as a movement, we should do that. Collectively, let them know, hey, this group, like the LDBC, we're not here to try to control something or whatever, but it's here to send the message that we matter and we count, we're relevant, and you can't overlook us. You can't look through us. You can't go around or over. You got to come to us straight and direct. And if you want that money, you better deliver some honey. That's it. That's all we're trying to tell them. 100%. So, yeah. Going into this subject, one of the things that I think is a huge benefit through this process is the benefit that the fans have had to take a step back with the break and start looking into what has happened up to now. What has happened from the time that the game stopped going back. And there are brothers out there who have had shows calling fights. There are brothers out there who have had interviews setting up with fighters from the past. There are those who are out there bringing back to remembrance and recollection of events that have gone down. All of this is a benefit for the fans of today because it gives you a chance to go back and look at exactly what was happening in the fight game. And you could say, you know what? This event right here was pretty damn good. I kind of like that. It might have been something that at the time, maybe you weren't into boxing that much. Some of us that they like to call historians, but we're just basically OGs at the end of the day who have lived through quite a bit of boxing. We've seen a different time where the events that took place, the fighters that faced off against one another, and the fanfare that came along with that was at an all-time high. And it wasn't that long ago because the fighters were putting it on and they were getting the job done. Promoters benefited from the dollars that came in, but it was the fighters that did the work. You see, at some point along the way, the promoters got really greedy and started looking at it like, damn, these dollars are flowing. How about we just put their favorite fighter, a la a Mike Tyson, in with a low blow Joe that nobody kind of knows, and then we could still charge that money and low blow Joe get a little piece of money, just a little piece, maybe more than he's ever had in his life, and then we could reap in the rest of the proceeds for ourselves as promoters. Tyson, Peter McNeely, okay, stuff like that. When you start seeing events get put on like that, that's a sham. I'm going to tell you something. Mike Tyson went away. He had no drugs like that were on the street, because there's always drugs in prison too. Now, don't forget that. But he went out there. He had no street drugs. He had the benefit of 3 hots in the cot. He was, preserved. He wasn't taking a beating in the place where he was or whatever. So when he came back for professional boxing, one of the biggest events in the history of boxing was his return to the ring. And who did he fight? It wasn't Evander Holyfield. It wasn't Lennox Lewis. It wasn't Riddick Bowe. It wasn't George Foreman. All of those men who were the top names in the sport at the time when he came back. None of them. He fought none of them and still made like over $20 million coming out of where he was and to face Peter McNeely. Where the hell is Peter McNeely today? I'll ask you all. If somebody's seen him, please put it on the social media and let us know where the hell he at. Because I don't even know if he fought again after he fought Mike Tyson. But I'm saying that to say this. They robbed us. They robbed us with one of the biggest names in the sport, which was Mike Tyson. And they robbed us from one of the biggest fights in the sport, which were his contemporaries who were right there. Now, yes, down the line, he eventually ended up fighting Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. But that was more from the pressure of the sport than his desire to go in there and fight these guys. There are plenty of guys he didn't face. He didn't face Ray Mercer. He didn't face Michael Moore. He didn't face David Tua. He didn't face Tommy Morrison. He didn't fight the best that were around. He didn't fight Oliver McCall, who had become a champion in his absence and who was the guy who gave him the greatest of sparring through his career. Fought him even-handedly in his career. Oliver McCall, shout out to Chi-Town because he's from the Chi. He gave Mike some of the best work in his career in the gym. Mike didn't want no smoke from him as a professional. And if Mike is out there listening, prove me wrong, sucker, because Oliver was from the Chi and he could take everything you had to mete out, and he meted out quite a bit to you too. And he became heavyweight champion for knocking Lennox Lewis out on the chin. Huh? Where you at, Mike? Laying on the He hurt me. You telling. Huh? Ronnie Shields. He hurt me, Ronnie. Yeah, he's supposed to hurt you. He's supposed to knock your ass out. Huh? It's fighting. It's a boxing match. You're going out there getting tattoos put on your face 6 days before the fight, hoping that they would call the fight off. That was going to be your out. But no, they made your butt get on in there with Lennox anyway and make you pass that baton. Because you wasn't ready. Huh? And now you out there today punching on some punching pads, making people try to relive what was once nothing. Just something happening in the gym. You got these people fooled. You ain't got me fooled, Mike Tyson. You ain't got me fooled. Pants don't hit back. Sit your ass down somewhere. You damn near 55 years old. What you think you doing? Any of these young guys out here will take your head off, and you out there thinking that you're going to fool somebody. That ain't no benefit for boxing. Huh? There ain't no benefit. Sit your butt down somewhere. You wasted a lot of your time. You wasted a lot of your prime. You could have been far greater person to remember in history than what you are today because you chose to be someone else. You chose to be out there. There's no biting in boxing, huh? You bit Evander and you bit Lennox Lewis. People forget about you biting Lennox Lewis at the press conference. I ain't forgot. Huh? You was hoping they'd disqualify you then. Before the fight took place. Maybe hope that Lennox would just put a police report on you and the fight won't happen. But no, Lennox say, I want him even more now. And I'm going to punish him. And he did. Huh? You was laying on that canvas, Mike. We got it on film. Huh? Bleeding from both eyes. Blood running down your face. And you looking up at the ref like, I don't want no more. Huh? In your greatness. Huh? Danny Williams. You ain't got it. And you probably never really had it. It may have all been a mirage as far as I'm concerned. That was no benefit from boxing. No benefit at all. So you Step to the side. We don't care about what you're doing. There are plenty of other young fighters out there that deserve their day in the sun. And I'm going to give it to them. And I hope that others are smart enough to realize that too. I don't care if you come back in a series of knockouts with never words and has-beens or whatever. It don't mean anything. It's a farce. That's what I got to say about that. Angie Wise says, he is my GOAT. I don't want to see him hurt. On his name, not necessary. We love you, Mike. You was a true man-child in the promised land. Stay safe. Women do have a soft spot for Mike Tyson, but I ain't no woman. Lars D. Punch-Out TV says, I agree, Stormy. Mike could have been so much more. It's a shame. That's right. And he don't deserve the shine that other brothers have coming up that could show you so much more. Huh? KP from KC says, Mike's best win was Ruddock. No, it wasn't. It was Michael Spinks, because Michael Spinks was the more accomplished fighter. Ruddock got beat up and beat down by plenty of guys after Mike. Philip Carl Roberts says, I think his knee went against Williams, but it was still a cash grab. His heart went against Williams. Before Williams, his heart was taken away. I think his heart was taken away by Buster Douglas in February of 1990. He never got it back. Matter of fact, if y'all seen that movie that was the Suicide Squad, when they had that villain and they said they kept her heart in a box and they opened it up and they stabbed it in to kill her or whatever. That's what Buster Douglas did to Mike Tyson. He took his heart in the ring in Tokyo in 1990, put it in a box, and every time he felt like it, he stuck a knife in that box like that, and Mike got worse and worse and worse and never could come back and rebound from that February 1990. Why didn't he fight a rematch with Buster Douglas? Why didn't he call Buster Douglas out when he came out of prison? Huh? He should have wanted that back right away. Hey, I'm not the real Iron Mike until I get Buster back. He didn't do that. There's a reason why. Because Buster whooped that ass and took his heart from him. Everything else was a facade and a mirage. Yeah, I said it. He could come to the Stormybman channel and disprove it. We got tapes, Mike. Huh? Jerry Bailey says, facts, Stormy. Lala D is laughing. She said, we do. Angie Wise says, I'm so akin as a person, not as a female, but all good to minimize me to my sex. It will happen to your daughter too. If you have what goes around comes around. Okay. Angie Wise, that you don't take that personal, sister. What we're saying is, in the conversation, is that those who love Mike, and because you was a lady speaking on him, I said, sister, have compassion. But I knew Mike to be in the sport as a warrior, and then he did not present himself as a warrior. It was a falsehood of how he came out after suffering defeat. When he was out front knocking people out in one round, he had all the bravado in the world. But when somebody knocked his ass down and knocked him back, he didn't want that back. He didn't want to come back and disprove that, that's all I am, is the guy that got knocked out. I want to come back and get mine back. Okay? He didn't do that. And so therefore, in the sport of boxing, where we admire the warriors, I can't admire him not being the warrior he was supposed to be. I call it like it was. It was false. Paper champion. Evander Holyfield beat him up. Yes, he took the 10-round beating, but in the rematch, he said, damn this, I ain't going through another 10-round beating. I'm going to bite him and get put out of the fight. Why did he say I'm going to get put out of the fight? Because after the first bite, referee Mills Lane said, you do it again and you're gone. I'm tossing you. And he did it again. He bit him twice. So that was it. Then after that, he allowed himself to get disgraced, confrontations with people in the streets and all of this on a regular basis, going in and out of the system, with them looking at life behind the bars, because he felt like that street cred maintained a certain image and aura about him. No, you're just a fucking criminal at that point. The real warriors were still in the ring, getting beat up or beating somebody up. Evander Holyfield was in there fighting guys, knocking guys down and out, and getting knocked down and out, and keep going. He didn't decide, I'm going to be tough in the streets and go beat up a civilian or something and get thrown in the slammer so I could get a rep. No, Evander's rep is in the ring. Lennox's rep is in the ring. Okay? True warriors. KP from KC says, Spinks was more decorated. Sporting Advantage says, really like the backdrop, Stormy B, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Laws D Punch Out TV says, yeah, and Danny Williams wasn't anything special. Was a C-class fighter in my eyes. But I'll tell you this, Laws D, Danny Williams fought a fight where his shoulder was separated. And he kept fighting. Okay? He kept fighting. He fought until the end. He didn't quit. He didn't bite the guy. He sucked it up. A warrior. And guess what? When he got in there with Iron Mike Tyson, he proved to have more metal than Iron Mike. Maybe we should call him Aluminum Mike. Huh? Real talk. Lala D says, Angie Wise, you need to listen to him more. He doesn't generalize. Many women do have a soft spot for Tyson. Appreciate you, Lala D. And I am not, feminizing or anything. That's not a sexist remark. If you thought that, sister, that's not what it is. Angie Y says, I'm speaking as a person. What my sex is irrelevant. And let's see. Derek Bailey says, Stormy, are you talking about Mike admitting he used PEDs throughout his career? I don't have to talk about that. Derek Bailey, I don't have to talk about that. Angie Y says, never mind, laugh out. I'm out. Them head butts hurt. I know from experience. All love, though. Bye for now. Appreciate you stopping by, sister. Don't take those things so personal because we're having conversation here. And I am not acknowledging people in the chat. Let's see what else we got. BBG says, Lewis wanted to get back from both guys. He lost too. Exactly. Lennox Lewis is one of the only heavyweight champions in history who could go down saying he has literally beaten every man he's faced in the ring, including the fights that he rematched after losing. And he went in. He wanted the get back. Holyfield did the same thing. He rematched people when he could. Listen, that's what fighters do. How many rematches have Mike Tyson had in his career? Think about that. And against who were they against? Sporting Advantage says Holyfield also the best heavyweight from Alabama. Okay. Lars D Punch Out TV says that's right, Stormy B man. Marta Machine says what's good, chat? It's fire with the gloves. BBG says I see that fight with Danny Williams dislocated shoulder. He a dog. Exactly. Marta Machine and BBG. That's exactly. Danny Williams was the man. Marta Machine says, what's good, Stormy B, man? Philip Carl Roberts says, Danny Williams' last fight was in November 2019. Age 46. Still loves boxing. Yes, sir. Derek Bailey says, yeah, Mike turned out not to be the fighter we all thought he was. Absolutely, Derek Bailey. And Lars D Punch Out TV says, facts, B, man. Fact. Exactly. Sporting Advantage is saying, what up, MTM? And MTM is saying, Lala D, what up? And Derek Bailey says 3 rematches. Yeah. And how many losses? And how many of those losses fighters did he rematch? There you go. Huh? That's simple arithmetic right there for y'all. And some of y'all can count better than Stormybman, because y'all be counting how many times I say certain things that hurt your feelings and step on your toes, and then you say you out and all of that, but you don't want to listen because we're talking about more than what's personalized to you. We're talking about who's going to benefit from the time off. But since people, they know that Mike's name is out there, hell with Mike. It's other fighters that we should be talking about. Because guess what? He's had his day in the sun. And it's time for other people to rise with the sun. That's what I'm trying to say. So are the fans going to benefit? Not if they looking at Mike Tyson for a future. Huh? No, they ain't going to benefit. Not in the least. Huh? They are not going to benefit. You got to benefit when you start calling for the right type of fights. You want to see the best fighting the best. You want to see fighters in there in 50-50 matches, giving as good as they get, and you want to see who can rise up, who can show heart and determination, who can persevere, who can come back, who can get knocked down and get up and finish and win. This is what you want to see, huh? You don't want to see guys just going out there banging out people they supposed to bang out and wait for 6 to 8 months and then come back and do another guy the same way. In the meantime, there's another guy across the street, as they say now, that can give him the smoke that he deserves, but you ain't trying to fight him right now because it needs to marinate. This ain't no damn barbecue. Lars D. Punch Out TV says, yeah, Holyfield did it against Michael Moore and some other people. Lennox Lewis. I mean, Holyfield fought a lot of rematches, man. Johnny Ruiz, huh? A lot of rematches. Curtis Anderson is out there. He says that Stormybman in chat, salute. 100. Boxing and Barbecue says, what's up, Stormy? What's up, Boxing and Barbecue? Good to see you, bro. Corner Girl 66 is out there. She says, salute Stormybman in chat. Salute to you, sister. Lala D says, hey, Kurt Sugar in his house. And what else? Everybody else is saluting each other. Yeah. You know. But if the fans are going to benefit, they have to put their foot on the neck of the fighters. Yeah, I don't care about Tank Davis fighting these fighters that they're going to set up against him. Of course, they're going to put a lot of Latin fighters in there, and this is no disrespect to the Latin fighters. But they're going to do that because they think that he may have certain advantages physically. That's what they're doing. That's what they're trying to do, a formula that they think. But I'm going to tell you something. There have been some Latin fighters in history who could whoop ass. We just finished talking about it last night on another show. Huh? D-Style Boxing did a featherweight tournament. Shout out to D-Style Boxing. If you haven't subscribed to D-Style Boxing, subscribe to the brother. He had a featherweight tournament, and we talked about it. And Kurt Sugar was on there with me and D-Style. We talked about all these Latin fighters that was in featherweight division. Great fighters, huh? Whooping ass. And they didn't care about no ethnic background. They just went in there and put guys on their backs, okay? So Tank Davis, he think he going to get out here and skate. But it ain't going to be that sweet, because when people really realize what you're doing, they fight with a different passion, man. Passion of disapproval. They're going to disprove what you think you're trying to do. When's the last time you seen Tank Davis fight a brother? I'll wait. Yeah. Yep. Lala D is laughing. Boxing and Barbecue is laughing out loud. Lala D says, facts. I hate marinate. That term has no business in boxing. You damn right it don't. Curtis Anderson is saluting Lala D. And Philip Carl Roberts says, the Holyfield versus Vo trilogy was awesome. Yes, it was. And though Holyfield lost twice, he gave as good as he could get in each and every fight. In the one fight where he got knocked down, in the one fight where excuse me, he knocked Bo down, he got knocked out. And, you know, hey, that's what happens, right? But Holyfield went into that fight supposedly with an ailment that should have caused him to not fight, but he fought anyway. And he knocked Bo down, couldn't finish him, and Bo knocked him out. So that's in the history books. But at least Holyfield went through with it. At least he fought him. You have to take your hat off for that. Timmy Nealon says, salute, Stormy B-Man, salute to you. And Lars D Punch Out TV says, yeah, that Lennox Lewis is on one of the greatest fighters I've ever seen. Lennox Lewis was able to go in there and defeat every man he has fought in his career. It's a distinctive acknowledgement toward his career of accomplishments. A lot of fighters can't say that they defeated every man they were in the ring with. That's win, lose, or draw. Keishel Alexander says, what up, Kurt Sugar? Lala D says, now that you mention it, I can't think of when Tank fought a top brother. Has he? I'm thinking. There you go, Lala D. That's why I said what I said. See, when you have the sensibility like you're showing there, where you say, wait a minute, Stormy's saying something here. That's why I said it. Because I want you to understand, when you're watching boxing, know what you're looking at. Huh? You could be watching guys knocking people here at the Kingdom Come, but that doesn't mean that they're fighting the best that they could be fighting. Now, there are some Latin fighters out there that'll whoop Tank Davis' ass. Okay? You ain't gonna fight those guys. But I digress. As long as you can hear what I'm saying, go and research it for yourself, and you'll find out what Stormy B-Man is talking about. Sporting Advantage says, Stormy, does Jermaine Taylor make your middleweight top 40 of all time? I would really have to think about that, Sporting Advantage, because there are so many fighters in the history of the middleweight division that are heads, shoulder, waist, ankles, and feet above Jermaine Taylor. Jermaine Taylor didn't even last during his own era. So I can't even, off the top of my head, I can't even consider him in a class like top 40 right now. I would have to go through the 40 who I think that's before him. And that's not disrespectful. That's an acknowledgement of what real greatness and good fighters were for the eras they fought and the opponents that they fought. Remember who Jermaine Taylor lost to, huh? And remember who beat Jermaine Taylor. Think about that. Okay? And then there's a number of fighters from history. I mean, we go back to the damn, Black Murderers Row. He ain't beaten none of those guys. None of them. So that's what, 16 to 18 guys? I think Kurt Sugar's in the chat. He could give us that number for the Black Murderers Row, exactly how many of them there were. So it's like Jermaine Taylor doesn't even break into that category. Those guys. Don't forget that there were other world champions of different ethnic backgrounds that Jermaine Taylor couldn't beat. This is why we say, who benefits from the boxing having a break? The fans. Because you have the chance to assess what was really great, what's truly great, what's good, okay, what's moderate, and what's piss poor. Okay? Take the time out for yourself. The films are out there. Videos on YouTube. You can go out and find them online. You can find and dig up a lot of these fights, man. Look at them for yourself. Don't have to take my word for it. Don't have to take Kurt Sugar word for it. Don't have to take Scrapbook Boxing word for it. But we want you to look at it so we can come back and discuss. Once you know what you're seeing, we can have a discussion about it. And dude, it'll be gravy. Much more enlightening. Lars D Punch Out TV says, if Tank ever fight Devin Haney, I got Haney winning that fight. What else we got? Derek Bailey is saluting. Corner Girl, son of Tank, is out there. He says salute. Lala D says 100. Derek Bailey says, yeah, Tank hasn't fought anyone. None of the top brothers. Not even Farmer. There you go. Think about it. Huh? And as long as they stay away from one another, you can't give them any credit as far as putting them in a class of great all time or anything. They can't even fight who's around during this time. How you want to go all time and you can't whoop who's in your time? Get the hell out of here with that foolishness. You know? Curtis Anderson says, Kershaw Alexander, I know. What's good you been up to? Sporting Advantage says, I got you. Thanks. Curtis Anderson said, I would say no. Kurt being nice. I could tell how he's writing. He's being nice. But Kurt really said, man, you get the hell out of here. Well, that's what he really saying. Let's say, Lala D says, salute son of Tank, K.A. and S.A. Keisha Alexander says, what up, Stormy? What's up to you? Philip Carl Roberts says, I watched Foreman versus Lau yesterday. What a slugfest. That's right. Classic. Taking Allah says, peace. Stormybman and salute. And Curtis Anderson says, Taylor doesn't make top 40. See, I like when Kurt is like laid back talking like that in his typing, because it sounds so, you know, cool and everything. But I've talked to Kurt Sugar. I know what he's saying. He's saying, man, are you out of your damn mind? That's what that means. I want y'all to know I'm translating for Kurt's typing in the chat. That's what he's saying. Yes, sir. Lala D is saluting to King Chala, and to King Allah is saluting Lala D. Yeah, but getting back to who's benefiting. The only way the fighters benefit is if you continue to buy into what they've been doing. And what they've been doing is fooling you. Fooling the hell out of you. They've had you hook, line, and sink. They do this thing. They're manipulating social media to their advantages too, because sometimes people think because you got a lot of followers, right? Like even in YouTube here, you got a lot of followers. That really legitimizes you, right? That makes it you, oh, you really know what you're doing, you whatever. You're popular, okay? But we're living in a dumbed down society, okay? Where there's a lot of people who are led, okay? They're sheep. And therefore that term sheeple is become more prominent because they want to be told what's best for them. They want to be shown the way to go. They want to be led with the little rope around their neck. You know, ropes around our necks has never been a good thing. You do know that, right? Okay, just check the history books on that. But anyway, like I said, just because you have numbers, that doesn't mean that you got the lumber. Okay, because I'm going to tell you something. People will go and listen to those who can talk the talk and they got charisma and this and that. But that doesn't mean there's a solid foundation there. Okay? It's not. It doesn't mean that there's a solid foundation. What that means is that that's access to something that's relative to them. Because people don't like to think for themselves, man. Huh? Why do you think they have shit like DoorDash and the damn what do they call it? Uber and Lyft and everything, just to be at your disposal. Because don't nobody want to work for shit. Don't nobody want to roll their sleeves up and get the job done themselves. Huh? I pay a landscaper to do my lawn and everything. Okay? Because I could do the lawn and everything, but when I do it, it takes a certain amount of time because I have a huge yard and everything. So it's like I spend a couple hours getting it all done, putting the dead grass away and bagging it up and all of that. I can pay the landscaper to do that and I can go and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. You understand? So we do things out of convenience. But understand, it's not the same thing when you roll your sleeves up to go to work. Huh? So when you look at things for what they really are you really getting what you need? Huh? Are you really getting the information that will make you better? Or make you want more and want better for yourself? Huh? Yeah, you stick that needle in your arm and you lay back and say, oh, I feel good. Huh? But the thing about that is, you got to do that again and again and again. And when you do that again and again and again, that's called addiction. Huh? What I'm giving you, I'm saying go out there and test it. Test the truth of what I'm talking about to you. If it's real to you, you can seek out more. But the advantage of that is you gain from that knowledge, not me, you. Lala D says, Curtis Anderson is laughing. And Jupiter B is out there, says, salute Stormy B, man. Salute to the chat. Salute to you. And let's see who else we got. Lala D says 100. Whole Foods even have oranges. They peel for you. That's the laziest shit I've ever seen. Keep on looking, Lala D. That ain't the laziest. That is not the laziest. I guarantee you. I could tell you some things, but I ain't going to say it. I'm going to let you find out for yourself. And then you're going to come back and say, I saw this S-H-I-T right here. It's the laziest thing I ever seen. I thought the pre-peeled oranges was the laziest. Nah, sister. That ain't it. That ain't it. BBG says, I was watching Henry Armstrong versus Lou Ambers. Armstrong put on some non-stop pressure on dude the whole fight. Incredible. Yeah, Henry Armstrong was a fighter to watch, man. That's Scrapbook Boxing's guy right there. He loves Henry Armstrong. He could tell you all about Henry. That ninja Quan74 says, great wisdom and knowledge, Stormy. Salute. Thank you, sir. And Lala D says, BBG 100. Yes, sir. That's it. You know, when we find who will benefit from this time off, it should be the fans. But if it's the fighters, they're not going to come back giving you what you want. They're going to come back even more emboldened that you guys are the biggest suckers on the earth, and that whatever they tell you and piss out to you, you're going to say, oh, those are raindrops. Let me get my umbrella. Huh? In the meantime, I'm going to be standing under a shelter somewhere saying, y'all some pissy ass people out there taking in all this bull crap that these guys are shoveling your way. Take a shower at home. That's what I'm going to say. Huh? That's the real talk right there. Real talk. Because you have now the opportunity to look into the sport for yourself. A little bit of research will benefit you. A little bit of investigating. Huh? One of the things that we've marveled, when I say we, some of my panelists and I, Reggie Owens, Scrapbook Boxing, Curtis Anderson, we've talked about this. Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. Shout out to all the brothers that's been on panels with me. We've been talking about this D-style boxing. We've noticed that the great fighters, they were all fighting great fights in their primes. Look at these guys of the day. Look at how old they're becoming, and they ain't fought nobody. But they still talking that junk to you on their Instagram, on their Twitter, on your YouTube channel. E. Shea Smith coming out there saying stupid stuff to the people. And like, dude, what have you accomplished in the ring? Huh? For anybody to have any latitude, you come out there and you talking mess to people. Now me, I can speak critically of things because I have the experience of being in the gyms with people, but I ain't talking about the fact that you can't have a voice. I'm talking about a lot of things that are being said when I'm like, okay, I've seen history. There are accounts of shit transitioning, okay, taking place. And guys of today are not living up to guys of yesterday. They're not. I wear glasses, but they're not rose fucking colored glasses. Okay? And I ain't high either. I'm clear. Lala D is laughing. Lala D is saluting BBG. Philip Carl Roberts says, one fight supposedly coming soon is Marius Wash versus Kevin Johnson, set for June 12th. Not a good one, in my opinion. Both have gotten decent chins, so it's probably going 12 rounds. It's just a journeyman heavyweight match there. That's all that is. But we're talking about guys who are supposed to be at the so-called top of the sport, facing off against challenging adversaries, people that you don't know who going to win going in. How many of these guys today are fighting those kind of fights? None of them. BBG says, Stormybman, I see a link from Scrapbook still. Timmy Nealon saying, Scrapbook, great channel. And everybody else is saluting. Yeah. But think about it like this, man. At the end of the day, if the sport of boxing is going to benefit from this time off, they will have addressed the issues that we call forward every time we do a show. Sanctioning bodies, promoters, doping, cheating, all of these things that we're seeing that are coming to the forefront. This is the year 2020. 2020 in life has always been referred to as a reflection of perfect insight, okay, perfect visual, perfect level plane of seeing things properly. So if we're going to exist in 2020, we have to have the vision that's necessary and look at what we're seeing and acknowledge it for what it really is. And don't try to be blind and close your eyes to it and play Stevie Wonder and be like, I can't see. Yeah, you can see, just like Stevie can see. Stevie had y'all fooled all these years, but the truth has come out. Stevie can see. Okay? So don't be no fool. And don't be no damn fool. Because in the year 2020, it's the year of revelation. You're supposed to be able to acknowledge what's before you. That's in life. That's in boxing, of what we're talking about. Be prepared to know what you're looking at. And the sport of boxing can only benefit if you continue with your blinders on. You got to take them damn blinders off, man. You got to take them off. You got to be able to see shit for what it really is and acknowledge that, you know what? I want more from my sport of boxing. Just like people want more from their NFL, they want more for their NBA, they want more for their MLB, okay? Soccer, don't matter. Have it for boxing. And since we pay the tickets, hey, don't just pay for any damn thing. Like some of y'all, I notice I go on other channels and everything. I see y'all giving super chats after super chats after super chats. Certain channels, then certain other channels that are monetized, you guys might not give anything to those. But you'll be in there listening to the information. But where's the real support? Huh? I'm not monetized yet, so I'm not talking about myself. But I'm saying I see this kind of thing. But you say you're a community member. Where's the support at? Huh? Some of y'all do the same thing with boxing. You're going to pay for that ticket to see that bullcrap DAZN card. You're going to pay that ticket to go to MSG and watch that, or the what is it, the Brooklyn Stadium and everything. You're going to be sitting right there watching them bum fights. Huh? And I call them bum fights because the real fighters are in there fighting the bums. Well, guys, you call bums, okay? But they ain't the guys you really would like to see them, but you still pay those tickets. Why? Why? Lala G just suggested earlier in this show, she said, hey, if it's going to be pay-per-view, why should we pay pay-per-view for something that ain't what we want to see? Exactly. Huh? Because I'm not going to pay for what I don't want to see. I'm going to pay for what I want to see. Huh? It's as simple as that. There are so many fighters out here that deserve to be seen, that deserve to have articles written about them, deserve for us to talk about their accomplishments on our air and everything. But guys keep mentioning the same damn names every day, 8 hours, 10 hours a day. You're mentioning the same damn guys. There's other fighters out there. Why? Foolishness. I don't know what I could say further than this. I just know that you guys can control it. Who benefits from the sport going forward? It's an easy thing. You know what I mean? It's easy. But it's up to you. It ain't up to me. It's up to you. Who you want to see, what you want to spend your money on. Huh? Think about it. But I'm going to tell you, that's all I got to say, really. I appreciate everybody that came out, listened to me talk today. I hope I was able to provide some insight with 2020 vision on what's happening with boxing and how we could go forward in the rest of this year when boxing resumes, that we have an impact on what we want to see, the demand that we want met. We want to see quality fights. We want to see guys in there giving and taking, getting up off the canvas, showing that they the best, knocking other people on their asses. That's what we want to see. We want to pay to see that. Listen, I sound the horn. It's up to the cavalry to come now. Let's see it happen. Huh? This is Stormybman. I'm out of here.